Hello, everybody, and welcome to the special 50th episode of AEW All Elite Again, the TEW 9 series. I can't believe we've made it all the way to 50. Yeah, in this episode, we're going to be kicking off the All Elite Tag League. We talked about that in the last episode. 2 blocks, A block and B block, 6 teams each. Big round robin tournament. It's going to be fun, and we're going to drag it out all the way to Revolution. Or, to be fair, not really we're going to drag it out. Just that's about as long as it's going to take. So anyways, speaking of the tournament, let's get right down to business. You guys saw me create the tournament brackets last week. There's been a slight change in the brackets, so I'm going to go over that. You see in this block, we've got the Young Bucks, FTR, Best Friends, the Fatus, who are Jimmy and Jey Uso. And now we have Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. in this block, and rounded out with the Kingdom. This was Pac and Shingo here. But I decided if the Death Riders are going to be feuding with Latin Mafia, doesn't it just make sense for them to end up facing each other during the tag league? So yeah, we swapped Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. with Pac and Shingo. So now the B block, as it stands, is the Briscoe Brothers, Beer Money, SCU, which is Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, Ortiz and Black Taurus representing Latin Mafia, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Pac and Shingo representing the Death Riders. Alright, so yeah, pretty much just a small change, but it had to be done. Okay, what else? I've gone ahead and I've tried to come up with like just kind of give myself a rough guide, so to speak. You see, I've written a bunch of big matches that we can do for the short-term future. I'm not gonna go over all of them, but this is kind of for me. I've written out stuff for us to do on Collision, stuff for us to do on Dynamite, and let's take a look here. You see, I've got these numbered 1 and 2. I did this all the way up to 14. So yeah, this is the amount of Dynamites and Collisions we have up until the next pay-per-view. And as you can see here, before the pay-per-view, we're going to be having the final block matches. Yeah, and pretty much that's all I've got so far. But yeah, just generally, hey, these are notes. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. I'm kind of rambling because I'm trying to remember what it was. You know what? I can't remember it, so we're just gonna proceed, and hopefully it comes back. If it's important, I'm sure it will. Oh yeah, and also TRISH STRATUS is here, and she is going to be debuting. All right, so wait, final thing, I swear. At the end of the last episode, we offered a contract to Funaki. I think he's a pretty good color commentator. I believe the contract we offered him, he is considering it, but he's also seriously considering WWE. So we're kind of just gonna leave it as is. And if he decides to stick with WWE, no major loss. If he comes and joins us, cool. So yeah, we may or may not sign Funaki. All right, and yeah, you guys are up to date. That's what's going on. Yeah, with 14 TV shows leading up to the next pay-per-view, not counting Dark. Yeah, we've got a long way to go. So I feel like, I'm glad we've got the tag league going. That'll give us some matches that we know we have to book. But aside from that, we're kind of just gonna do stuff. So yeah, it should be fun. Ray Kameta's contract is up. Okay, so WWE upped their offer. Hello, Olivero Montero. Happy Sunday indeed. Thank you for hanging out here. Graduate first refusal request for George Jerkowicz. All right, we'll take a look, but I'm gonna refuse. Yeah, he's got nothing going for him. But yeah, I just generally, as a rule, don't really want to use these auto-generated people. So yeah, just gonna go ahead and decline. All right, it's Monday, which means we're about to book collision. Let's take a look at some news before that. Ooh, Okada suffered a mild concussion. That's not good. Although New Japan has plenty of top guys, so they'll be fine. Oh, Jurassic Express. Oh, they won the ROH tag titles. Oh, well, good for them. They've come a long way. You know, we just jobbed them out on Dark not too long ago. Let's take a look at this ROH card. We've got Jonathan Gresham defeated Flip Gordon in a cage match to retain the world title. Got an 81. That's really good for a developmental. Laredo Kid defeated Ilya Dragunov. What a match to retain the television title. Wheeler Yuta and Colt Cabana defeated Malafama. Solid match. I'm curious. Wheeler Yuta got a 65. Okay, he's coming along nicely. Lady Maravilla defeated Zuxis and Sky Blue. Tennille Dashwood, Jamie Hayter defeated Lady Flamer and Mischief. I don't like that. Please don't put over Tennille Dashwood. Thank you. Just don't. In general, stop putting over Tennille Dashwood. Jurassic Express, they defeated Black Death. So that's Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood. All right, well, yeah, you know, you've handed the ball to Jurassic Express. Let's see what they do with it. Oh, and Suri made the card. Sick. All right, yeah, it's Monday. It's time to book some collision. Okay. Speaking of collision, I have not seen any of the last collision. I believe it was on Thursday. So yeah, I didn't see it live. Haven't seen any of it, but I really want to watch. Did Pac and Claudio taking on Shingo and Drilla Maloney, and I was like, oh man, this is this is a dream match for me specifically. We've got Pac and Shingo in the same match. Yeah, I need to go out of my way and watch that. Let's see, where should we go? It feels like we've been everywhere relatively recently. Like, yeah, I guess the Northwest. I haven't been here since November, which isn't that long ago. It's only January, but sure. You know, pretty soon we should probably start looking into traveling, maybe doing shows in Canada. Let's head here to the Arena Auditorium in Wyoming. A very generic sounding place. All right, can we, you know, can I get a gimmick idea, please? Like, let's go for another one. Likely, kind of a waste of points. All right, give me a angle idea instead. Safe bet for CM Punk. We can definitely use that. Oh. Oh, John Moxley and the Fatu specifically asked if Roman can come hang out. I mean, I'm not going to say no to all three of those guys. Sure. Man, people on the online forums are going to be all mad at us. They're going to be like, you know, AEW's really been cozying up to this sex past Roman Reigns. They're really buttering him up. They're waiting for people to forget what he did. And I mean, yeah. That is true. If I ever go to sign him and it doesn't give me that warning about him being toxic, I'm signing him. So yeah, once we get the green light, he's in. But yeah, that's not right now. I just blew through all the locker room incidents. Don't know why I ignored them, but I saw Will Hobbs. I believe his contract should be coming up soon. I didn't re-sign him. But yeah, we're probably not gonna book him anyways. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I saw him on the screen and I was like, oh yeah, then aren't we gonna let this guy go? All right. Anyways, I am rambling. It's time for some collision. All right. First things first, we're gonna open the show with a promo segment. We're going to open the show with the world champion, Cody Rhodes. His wife, Brandy, of course. Remember, he's coming in fresh off of defending the world championship against Sting. So he's feeling really good right now. He he didn't want to admit that he was worried about the match, but he definitely was. So yeah, he's coming in. He's feeling good about himself. He's just exuding this cockiness, this douchebagness. Yeah, he's gonna cut a promo about how once again, he never had a doubt in his mind. The world champion stays where it belongs, around his waist, yada yada yada. We're gonna give him 4 minutes. Okay. And then surprise second part. Nobody's ever gonna see this coming. We're gonna send Adam Page out there. Adam Page is coming off of beating Jimmy Jacobs in a Texas death match. So yeah, he's been going through it. He's been dealing with some stuff lately. And he's basically gonna come out. Oh, happy Heatwave Over Day. Hooray! Yeah, it's been a crazy hot lately. I'm glad it's not so bad today. Yeah, Adam Page is gonna come out and he's gonna cut a promo on Cody about how, he's gone through hell and he's not gonna stop going through it until that world championship is his. And he doesn't care what Cody says. He doesn't care what Jimmy Jacobs or what anybody else we have to say about it. He knows that whether Cody Rhodes likes it or not, he will be the world champion. So I guess this would be we're gonna call this storyline development. I was gonna go with hype, but it's not really hyping up a match. It's more so just like foreshadowing that he wants to challenge for the belt in the future. So yeah, that's the opening segment. All right, and then after the opening, we're gonna head straight into kicking off the All Elite Tag League. And who better who better to start things off? I pressed Y instead of N. That's so funny. Yeah, who better to start off the tournament than the Young Bucks? And I believe I want them to face, Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. as their first opponents. I had the idea of trying to plot out the entire tournament, like every single match for every single show. And I kind of started to do that a little. But then I realized it's a lot of work. So I kind of have in mind how I want things to end up. We're going to just kind of book towards that and hope that we don't mess it up along the way. All right, so just looking at the guys in this match, this is definitely going to be a steal the show match, and we're going to give them 15. Yeah, you got Volador and Barbaro in here. You know, some people say that Barbaro Cavernario is the unofficial international champion. It's a rumor going. You know, I don't think there's a lot of substance there. It's not true because Kento Miyahara clearly is the first champion. All right, but yeah, steal the show match, open, and we're gonna have the Young Bucks go over. You know what? No, I don't. I was looking at finishes, but this is the first match of the tournament. We don't need to finish immediately. A block match. Does Chris Sabin have the agent of tag matches attribute? Oh, he's got nothing. All right, whatever, man. And this is a non-title match, although the we already said that the tag titles, they're gonna be on the line for the tournament, but it's not gonna be like match to match. We're more so, it's gonna be a thing where whoever wins the tournament wins the championships. So if the Young Bucks don't make it to the finals, essentially the belts will be vacant. All right, next match we have here. Well, actually, let's go ahead and book a promo before this. We're gonna book the woman's block of the show right now. All right, backstage promo. We've got Davina Rhodes, and she's with the new tag team champions, Trinity and Mickie James. Actually, can I look at their mic skills? I know Trinity should have mic skills. Mickie James does too. All right, I guess they can all talk then. You know what? We're gonna let Renee talk too. Screw it. Everybody be involved. All right, yeah, so we're backstage with Davina Rose and the new tag team champions, and this is basically just a hype promo to let people know that they're the new tag team champions. All right, so we're gonna do off screen AJ Mendez, Nikki Storm. Yeah, this is essentially a promo because it's like, hey, we didn't book you guys to wrestle tonight. Go talk for a couple minutes. We're gonna do medium Kagetsu. You know, remember they won the titles in a triple, or not a triple threat, a three-way tag match. So yeah, it's just easy booking. We can have them face the two teams individually. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing that soon. There you go, the new champs. And speaking of new champs, in this next match, we're gonna see the new women's champion, Hana Kimura. All right, she's gonna be teaming up with Hikaru Shida and Mika Iwata. Normally, I have Hana Kimura, you know, teaming up with Tokyo Cyber Squad, but we brought in Kaylee Ray, and she almost immediately suffered chronic upper back pain. So we're kind of just waiting for her to heal up. So yeah, that's why Hikaru, and also Hikaru Shida and Mika Iwata are just good. So I would like them to be on the show, and they're going to be taking on the trio of Kimberly, Allison Kay, and Jessica Have, the Midwest Militia. Yes, the Midwest versus Japan. Right, and Hana Kimura, you know, she's the brand new champion, so of course we're gonna put her over here. Let's do clean win. Man, any Sonic 3 fans out there? And I love this song. It's like it's been going on in my head for my entire life. This is what I think about all day. Do, 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 do. Wing. Oh right, and the next thing we want to do, another promo. This is gonna be the debut of TRISH STRATUS. So here we're gonna be backstage with let's see, who's a interviewer? How about RJ City? So RJ City is backstage with Bianca Belair. Actually no, we're gonna do character. We don't need to rate RJ. Right, and we're just gonna throw in Hana Kimura and Awesome Kong off screen because RJ City, he's basically talking to Hana Kimura, or not Hana Kimura, Bianca Belair, and saying, you know, the landscape of the women's division has changed. You know, with there being a new champion, do you plan on going after your friend Hana Kimura? And Bianca Belair, she's gonna, you know, she's gonna be a bit coy. Like, of course, you know, me and Hana Kimura, I do have a lot of respect for her, but we're all in this business to win championships, to make it to the top. So if it comes down to it, may the best woman win. Just a real kind of vanilla babyface promo. All right, and then we're gonna do a second part. Yeah, we're gonna actually have the second part be 3 minutes and the first part 1 minute. All right, in this second part, Trish Stratus shows up. And yeah, RJ City is going to look at her and be like, oh my God. And she's going to be like, you get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Get out of my shot. And he's going to scram. So RJ, you're out of here. And basically, Trish Stratus is going to show up and she's going to say like, well, Bianca Belair, the EST of AEW. And she's going to talk about how when Bianca Belair came to when she heard she was going to AEW, there was all this hype around her, all these expectations. Everybody thought that she was going to come in and she was going to take over the women's division. She was going to win the championship. She was going to beat everybody. And she's going to say to her, you know, what happened? You know, because I've been watching and you've been given title shots and opportunities. And it seems like every time you just let them slip through your fingers. And Bianca Belair is going to get a little upset, of course. She's going to get a little pissed and be like, you know, what are you trying to say? Like, and Trish is going to be like, whoa, hold on now. You know, I'm not about to get in the ring. So you don't need to act all tough with me. But who you should be acting tough with is yourself. You know, are you the woman that was supposed to come in here and take over and rule this division? Or, you know, do you just want to hang out backstage and talk to RJ City? It's your call. It's your career. I'm just saying, I'm a 9-time world champion. I've been there. I've done that. You know, it's your time now. Do you want to do it or not? Yeah, so Trish Stratus essentially asking Bianca Belair, you know, are you going to keep fucking around? Or are you going to go for the championship? So I'm excited to see how good Trish does. She's only recognizable. I mean, she's really popular though. I'm surprised she's only recognizable, but I imagine she should get over fast. Hopefully. So while we're looking at her, can we go ahead and I'm sorry, Trish. Yeah, we're gonna just make her an occasional wrestler. I don't plan on putting her in matches all that much, but we'll leave her as an occasional wrestler for now. But yeah, since I'm not gonna be booking her, I don't want her to be a wrestler and then she gets mad that we're not booking her. Let's go ahead and look at the women's world title scene. All right, we need to make some changes here. We're gonna take out Stokely's Angels. They've done their job. Oh, now. And you know, Martina probably doesn't need to be in this either. Or well, she's a supporting role. She could stay, I guess. All right, we're gonna leave Stokely and Kong for now. Bianca's there already. Is Bianca aligned? No, okay, she's not aligned with Hannah. We're going to add Trish Stratus. All right, there's the entire women's block of the show. You know, we put it all back to black out of consideration, so the people who are only into the women's matches can just stop watching. I mean, but of course we want them to watch the whole show. All right, up next we've got Trish Stratus making her surprise debut. It's time for another debut, which I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a surprise debut. I'm retconning the tournament announcement right now. This is official. We're gonna pretend that when they announce the tournament blocks, we're gonna say that the Fatus and Motor City Machine Guns, we're gonna say that those were just two wild card slots. So they didn't announce that who those slots were going to be. Just so we can say it's a surprise debut. All right, yeah, so they're here. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin will make their debut in AEW, taking on familiar foes, Bobby Roode and James Storm, Beer Money. Could you imagine how hyped this would be if, well, I guess Beer Money is not in AEW, but well, yeah, if they were in AEW and this happened in real life, just unannounced, they showed up and face Beer Money again, that'd be so sick. All right, yeah, obviously we're gonna put over the Motor City Machine Guns. They get 2 points in the tournament, or should I say the league? And we're gonna give the win to Alex Shelley because he needs he's not as popular as Chris Sabin because he was retired for a while, so we need him to become more popular. And there you go, the first B block match. You know, we might actually move this up on the card. All right, and it's time for another ankle. All right, this one we're gonna have Bryan Danielson come out. So Bryan Danielson at New Year's Smash defended the AEW Prime Championship against Swerve Strickland. So he's basically gonna come out and cut a promo talking about that match, and he's gonna kind of ask, like, well, you know, I'm the champion and I'm here. So what I want to know is who's next? He's Goldberg. Go ahead and copy this. All right, and of course, now that Bryan Danielson has thrown down the gauntlet, who better to answer it than Kenny fucking Omega? Kenny Omega, he got a trios match win over CM Punk and FTR. So yeah, he's gonna come out and he's gonna cut a promo on Bryan Danielson talking about how winning that match and how, of course, you know, he's here in AEW for competition and he would love to go after the world championship, but out of respect to what he heard from his buddy Hangman Page earlier, he's gonna set his sights elsewhere. And he thinks that him and Bryan Danielson could have one of the greatest matches in the entire history of AEW. So of course, everybody's gonna be hyped about this. Everybody's gonna be super excited. All right, and then we're gonna have a third part to this where we're gonna have Don Callis and Swerve Strickland show up to ruin the party, essentially. Where Swerve Strickland, last time he cut a promo about how he was this close to beating Bryan Danielson. That's the story we're kind of telling. You know, Bryan Danielson, he beat him, but like he barely survived. So Swerve Strickland is basically gonna come out and angrily say, Bryan Danielson, you're a coward because you know that you barely survived against me. And if you were a real man, you would give me a title shot. You would want to prove that you could really beat me and that it wasn't a fluke. And Don Callis is gonna also chime in and say, plus Kenny Omega, your last match was a trios match. So I don't see how you winning that entitles you to a title match. Kenny Omega is going to be like, all right, well, you know what, Don Callis? How about it? You want me to earn a shot? Why don't you have me and your boy Swerve hook up tonight? You know, one-on-one. How about that? We could do it in the main event. Of course, Don Callis is going to say, oh, you would love that, wouldn't you? You would love to face my client, Swerve Strickland, when he's not prepared for competition tonight. Of course. Of course. You would love to have that advantage. Yeah, we might have shortened. Basically, Don Callis is gonna finish up by saying, like, Kenny Omega, if you want to wrestle tonight so badly, the Don Callis family, we have affiliates everywhere from all corners of the globe. So you show up to the ring, and one of my guys will meet you. All right, so foreshadowing. Oh, fuck. Hey guys, I just remembered something. I wanted to book a match. I don't know why I'm keeping it a secret from you guys. I wanted to book Kenny Omega versus El Phantasmo, and El Phantasmo was gonna be he was going to be like Don Callis's guy. I don't think I borrowed him. Yeah, I forgot to borrow him. Whoops. All right, maybe we can save it for Dynamite then. Just yeah, maybe we just do that. Although that kind of leaves this show. without any main event. All right, we'll just keep booking the show, and we'll figure it out as we go. All right, our next match, trios match. We're gonna do Kento Miyahara, the new international champion, is going to team up with his good buddies Eddie Kingston and Wagner Tercero, and they're going to take on the Jim Ross Corporation, Joe Doring, RIP, Moose, and the Machine, Brian Cage. Man, should this be a wild brawl? Man, you know, Brian Cage, we may have to like find somebody to replace him in this group we've got going on, because his stats are not that bad, but he's kind of banged up, so he's just never really does that good in matches, and that's such a shame. I think Brian Cage is he's a cool wrestler. I feel like for whatever reason, a lot of people don't like him. I feel like people just see this big muscled up guy and they assume that he sucks, but he's not bad. Like, do I want to see him like winning world championships? Probably not. We're gonna make this world, bro. You know, do I want to see him with a world championship? Probably not. But you know, put him in a good like mid card singles match. He's solid. I feel like Brian Cage is underrated. He's underappreciated. And we're gonna have Kento Miyahara win this match. So we still need a storytelling match, and we need to book something as a main event. I could do something with John Moxley, but I don't know what that would be. Because, I mean, well, Pac and Shingo, I don't really, you know, it doesn't make sense to book them in matches outside of the league while the league is going on. I was planning on giving Adam Page a random singles match on Dynamite, but even that, I wasn't planning on it being the main event. Oh, there's Walter, AJ Styles. Damn, we don't have Will Ospreay here. Hey, I need to keep remembering to borrow the people I need to borrow. Can AJ Styles just wrestle somebody in the main event? What has he been doing lately? I think I had him wrestle Timothy Thatcher and Axel Tischer, and then I had him lose to Walter in the tournament. Yeah. Oh yeah, and he beat Will Ospreay in the tournament, right? All right, is there somebody that AJ can wrestle? I mean, there's a lot of guys that he could have a good match with here, but I'm trying to find somebody that would make sense. What if we have him wrestle like? I mean, I don't know how much sense this would make, but wrestle like Brody King. Just he's big. He's big and always threatening, so it could just be like AJ Styles wants to. He just wants to have a match to show people that he's still got it. That he can still kick some ass. Doesn't necessarily have to lead to him feuding with Jimmy Jacobs. Kind of weird as a main event. I don't know. This is going to be the main event. Whatever. 15 minutes. We're going to tell them. We're going to have it be a storytelling match. You know, we started off booking this episode so strong, but now as we have to finish up, I'm kind of just like, look, man, I put a lot of attention and detail into everything else. Just AJ Styles, go out and have a match. Would be nice. No, we don't have a creative finish. Damn. I kind of want to do a flash pinfall too. I kind of want to tell the story that AJ Styles is like getting older and he's kind of give him like a Jerry Lynn 2009 ROH-esque run where he's old now and he's still pretty good, but he's always kind of the underdog because he's old. I only need to book 15 more minutes. So let's just kind of fill the show of promos. 3-minute hype promo backstage from Eddie Kingston. And he's with Kento and Wagner. And in this promo, he's gonna talk about how he's like, I teamed up with Jon Moxley to take on Latin Mafia, but that doesn't mean that we're about to be best friends and start hanging out. You know, it was a one-time thing. I had to do what I had to do. He's like, and now that I've gotten that out of the way, I can get back to doing what I want to do, which is hanging out with my boys, Kento and Wagner. And all right. Alyssa Santos in here. Okay. All right, 12 minutes. I kind of want Moxley to cut a promo too. You know what? It's Jon Moxley. I need him 6 minutes backstage. So Jon Moxley don't need no damn interview. It's Jon Moxley in the stairwell once again with Pac and Shingo and Fergal. And he's going to cut a similar promo to Eddie's where he's kind of saying like, sometimes the enemy of your enemy can be your friend. But, that doesn't mean that you Eddie Kingston gets to be a Death Rider now. That doesn't change anything between us. And then he's going to just go into Death Riders. We've always set out to prove that we're the best wrestlers in the world. And we're going to continue doing that. We're going to refocus now. Pac and Shingo are going to take on the All Elite Tag League. And they are going to prove that that the Death Riders are the best in the world. Okay. Maybe Jon Moxley can kind of hint at, maybe I'll go for singles gold myself, We're gonna put this here. We're kind of early in the show. Actually, you know what? No, it's a John Moxley promo. We're gonna put it towards the later part of the show. Why not? It's still called Lucha Brothers versus Latin Mafia, but it's really not anymore. Right, I feel like we need to add John Moxley to this. Also, I said I wanted to make the leagues into their own storyline, so I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna alter this and make this we're gonna make this the A block story. So let's see, let's take out Briscoes. Okay, let's see if I can remember all the teams in this block. I know Best Friends are in it. Let's align them with each other. I know the Kingdom is in it. The Usos also. I gotta get used to calling them Jonathan and Joshua. Ugh. Jeez. Oh, oh no, we can't do that. All right, whatever, man. So they're not aligned with each other, sure. And I feel Bobbito Cabanaudio and Volador Jr. I think that's everyone. Let's see. We got the Young Bucks, FTR, Best Friends, the Usos. Yeah, that's 6 teams. Okay. All right, we're gonna make the A block. I said A block. I meant to say B. All right, so let's see. We got the Briscoes. Jay and Mark Briscoe. We got Beer Money. Oh no, not this again. All right, who else? We got Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin. Ortiz and Black Taurus. Ortiz is in the other storyline, right? Shingo. Ortiz. and black throat. All right, cool. I just wanted to set that up. Oh, we only need 6 more minutes. So let's see. Storyline I'm forgetting. Well, Kenny Omega has a promo on the show, so we might as well give CM Punk one too. All right, how about we do CM Punk is we're gonna do Swerve and Don Callis backstage, and then CM Punk is gonna show up. You know, because so with Don Callis, we kind of use him as a manager where he has all these clients, but they're not necessarily a group all the time. But you know, we can have them interact every now and then. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those times where they're gonna be unified against Kenny Omega. This part is gonna be 2 minutes. And then the second part is gonna be 4 minutes. I'll have them talking to Renee. CM Punk shows up and he's basically going to talk about how Kenny Omega thinks just because he got one little win over me in a trios match where he didn't even pin me, that things are just completely over between us. That guy he's even dumber than I thought he was. Oh, and me and Bryan Danielson, we go way, way back. You know what, Swerve? You stick with me. I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to do to handle it. Yeah, so there's all anti Kenny Omega and anti Bryan Danielson. Let's move this. And there's so many promos on this show. It's like almost too many. Right, we're gonna do my older idea and move this down. Okay. Right, I kind of want to do. I want to revisit Walter versus AJ Styles, so we should make that a. Or we'll see. I want to do a storyline with Walter, AJ Styles, and like Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay is technically not. Well, he's not even technically. He's just not on our roster. So we're gonna have to like borrow him for every show. Oh right, Walter's in the international. You know, I don't even know who I want to challenge for this belt next. Should probably figure that out. Or you know what? The storyline's extreme. If Bryan Danielson or AJ Styles doesn't have a great match, I don't want him to bring down the storyline. All right, so we're just gonna remove Walter from this for a second. We need to get somebody else in here, but we'll handle that later. I think we're just gonna do a quick like 4-minute backstage interaction between them. Now, who's the other interviewer? I can't remember. Oh, Denise. All right, so yeah, rather than splitting it up into parts, we're just gonna do it as one. We're just gonna say that AJ Styles is backstage with Denise Salcedo talking about how he's in tonight's main event, and you know, even though he didn't win the tournament, he feels that he's still got a lot of gas in the tank. He knows he's getting up there in age, but he wants to make one last run at a title. And Walter's gonna show up, and he's basically gonna say, like, you know, what the hell are you even talking about? Everybody saw what happened when we faced each other. I destroyed you. You know, the only place you should be running to is retirement, old man. And AJ Styles is gonna, you know, yeah, they're gonna have a tense face-off, and AJ Styles is gonna storm off. All right, so there is an egregious amount of promos on this show, but I hope it does well. We've got all of our top stars cutting promos like Mox, Eddie, Cody, Hangman, CM Punk, Kenny. The tag league's kicking off. Should be solid. All right. I'm not even gonna mess around and book a pre-show match. I think I just want to run this show. I know our shows last time did phenomenally well. We got an 89 Collision and a 97 Dynamite. I don't know if we're gonna do that good right now, but you know, we're shooting for somewhere in the low 80s. So I would be more confident in this if we had a creative finish. You know, maybe it shouldn't be the storytelling match, actually. Okay, so what should be the storytelling match? The Wild Brawl already? All right, it's gonna have to be the women's match, I think. All right, there we go. That's a collision. We're shooting for an 82. All right, so let's see. All right, we start off hot with a 87 opening segment. The part with Hangman coming out. Yeah, the part with Hangman coming out did really well. Got an 86. Screen brightness here. I don't know why it's so dark. Actually, hold on 1 second. I don't know. Anyways, all right, 87. All right, the first block match of the All Elite Tag League, the Young Bucks, pick up a win over the CMLL team of Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. in a match that got a 75. This is our Steal the Show match of the evening. Barbaro got a 62 and Volador got a 55. Well, I'm hopefully they'll gain popularity throughout the tournament, so by the time it's over, they're doing better than this. But yeah, the Young Bucks good enough that it didn't even matter. The match was still considered good. All right, a 93 promo from Jon Moxley. Incredible work. Thank you. Oh, and this kicked off the B Block League. So yeah, the bar is set super high. All right, okay promo from the new women's tag team champions and Davina gets a 65. All right, then we've got 6-woman action. The new women's champion Hannah Kimura teams with the Shining Samurai to take on the Midwest Militia, Kimberly, Allison Kay, and Jessica Havoc, and it got to 72. That's pretty good. Even though it was a storytelling match, still did really solid. All right, I'm glad. All right, we're backstage. We see Bianca Belair cutting a promo, talking to RJ City, and here comes TRISH Stratus, kind of giving her a. It was like almost a half pep talk, half shit talk. You know, he was kind of like trying to motivate her, but also simultaneously being like, you know, if you don't want to listen to me, then you know, whatever. All right, get a 71 though. All right, and the women's world title scene is in heat. That you're damn right it has. Trish is there. I should add her to that storyline. Oh wait, I think I. Oh, okay, I did. Okay. Up next, debut of the Motor City Machine Guns. All right, a 77. Great match. All right, so the Motor City Machine Guns show up, make their surprise debut in AEW, and immediately pick up their first win in the All Elite Tag League, beating their old TNA rivals, Beer Money. A great match. Even James Storm not doing too bad. So yeah, he must have been he had a bit of extra motivation getting to wrestle his old buddies. All right, we've got some backstage drama with AJ Styles and Walter. This gets a 76. The storyline has begun. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, the segment with Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Swerve, and Don Callis gets a 91. So people are really into this, as they should be. We've got the prospect of a Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega match looming. We've got Don Callis, who thinks Swerve Strickland deserves another shot. Kenny Omega has made it clear that he'd be willing to face Swerve Strickland. So yeah, a lot of exciting matches to be spun out of this. 91. All right, we cut backstage to Eddie Kingston, who cuts a promo proclaiming that, you know, him and Jon Moxley aren't about to be boys just because they teamed up against the Latin Mafia. He's glad that he got that situation handled. And it's time to move on and talk about not his new friend, but his friend, the new international champion, Kento Miyahara. And they're about to go out there and kick some ass, all Japan style. Oh wow! This wild brawl got an 80. All right, yeah, hell yeah, man. This definitely over delivered because these Joe Doring is not over, unfortunately. And Brian Cage, like I said, is just not that good. He got a 43. But really, it just seems like Kento Miyahara kind of carried the entire match. So yeah, the new champion just putting in that work. All right, let's move on. Our backstage segment, we've got Don Callis and Swerve complaining. Then CM Punk shows up and he complains too. Gets a 76. All right, and then our kind of random cold main event of AJ Styles versus Brody King gets an 80. Well, at the very least, it was a really solid match. So we at least we had that going. All right, let's see how well the show does. An 86. All right. You know, I think these hot promos are really what pushed us over the top. So yeah, I'm glad this was a great show. Man, speaking of Brody King, we got to figure out something to do with Jimmy Jacobs. You know, maybe he can feud with maybe we can transfer over Darby Allin and Tommaso Ciampa from the Dark Order and have them feud with Jimmy Jacobs instead. Gain popped in the Maritimes, Quebec, and Eastern Central Europe. You know, we're actually more popular in Europe than we are in Canada, so maybe we can go there pretty soon. Just to switch things up, we can do some shows in Central Europe. Ooh, Seth Rollins cracked his tailbone. It's gotta hurt. Man, you know, this is gonna be a random general statement. I feel like every time I watch a wrestling match, I'm just like, dude, how do they do this? Like, I forget what the match was exactly, but there was some match where Marina Shafir was outside the ring, so I guess it was a Death Riders match, and she gave Jay Lethal a T-bone suplex on the outside of the ring, and I swear to God, I thought he was gonna get Big E'd. I'm sorry if it's offensive for me to phrase it like that, but yeah, it looked like he landed on his fucking head. I'm just like, dude, how? And people just take bumps like this like every week. How do you do that, man? Put some respect on professional wrestlers in general. You know, I didn't see that Jay Lethal got injured, so I guess he was all right, but it looked really bad. So in general, I think there's something to be said about how often now in AEW specifically feels like every match somebody takes some kind of bump on the outside of the ring. And I'm like, you know, maybe I'm just wrong here, but I feel like it hasn't always been this way, you know? So I watch AEW now, and it's like you've got women taking like suplexes off the apron to the floor, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know, Kurt Angle back in the day used to tease German suplexing people off the apron, and it worked really well as a tease because people believed that they were like, you know, if he suplexes this person off the apron to the floor, they're gonna be fucked up. So it really worked. It was add suspense to the match. Oh, we've got some contracts ending. Let me finish what I'm saying though. Nowadays, it's like people just take crazy bumps all the time. And it's almost like a thing where if people don't wrestle that style, then people say they're boring. You know, people are like, oh, this guy sucks. If they wrestle a more conservative style. And I think that, you know, I just think there's something to that. I don't exactly have a more articulate opinion on this. I just, yeah, I just noticed. And Helico's contract is coming up. He's got good stats. Like, he can definitely go. But we never got him over. He's only 33. He's younger than I thought. I mean, he doesn't like Denise Salcedo. That's kind of random. Jack Evans, also same story. Pretty good stats. Not really over. Mark Quinn. His aerial and flashiness are really high, actually. You know, trying to think of what we should do with Angelico and Jack Evans. I think I want to keep Top Flight, or I mean not Top Flight. Private Party. I don't know that I necessarily need hybrid, the hybrid too. All right, but we're gonna offer Marquette another 2 years. Yeah, you know, Private Party, they're a bit younger, so I feel like they've got more time to develop. Jack Evans and Angelico, they're both really good though. Is the thing. Like they're kind of useful to have around, but we've had them here for so long. And it's not like we book them frequently. Although, yeah, damn. Looking at this, they when we do book them, they tend to deliver more often than not. Oh fuck, we're keeping them. We're keeping them. Why not? All right, 2 more years. They can continue to have good matches while being squashed. Although I wonder if sending them to ROH would help them get over a little more. It would probably take some time, but you know, if they were at least getting booked there. I don't know. I can just have them show up on Dark Time. All right, let's get into this Dynamite. Oh my God! Thank God I looked at the screen. We need to borrow El Phantasmo, and I think we should borrow Will Ospreay. All right, actually, I think El Phantasmo is in. I don't even think he's in New Japan at this point. I think he's only in Rev Pro. All right, it's time for Dynamite. All right, I think we were in the Northwest, so we're just gonna stay in that general area. I believe we went to Wyoming last time. Let's head to Washington. All right, I saw last time we kind of could use some finishes. A safe bet, thank you very much. Bit of a gamble, and we don't have enough for another one. Give me a angle idea. All right, well you tried. All right, pretty bad meeting. Davina Rose still only training Bianca Belair. Cody Rhodes only training 3 people. I mean, I guess it's because all of the younger people we hire, we send them to Dev. Mickey James and Dark Sheik cutting it up backstage, doing a little karaoke. Fun. I wonder what they're singing. Probably I could see Mickey James doing something like like Before He Cheats by whoever sings that song. I can't think of their name right now. I dug my keys into the side of his pretty little souped up. All right, it's Dynamite. Woohoo! Let's book some tournament matches. Yeah, we're gonna have the Fatu's debut on the show. We're also going to have the Briscoe brothers take on SCU. So Jay, Mark Briscoe taking on Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. It's an ROH affair. Oh, Jay Briscoe's a cracked tailbone? Oh no. He's going to be good in 2 days. I'm just going to book the match anyways. I think it'll be fine. I think this time we're going to do 15 minutes steal the show for these two. And of course, we're going to have the Briscoe brothers go over and pick up their first 2 points. You know what? Actually, we're gonna have them do we're gonna do a flash pinfall because both these teams are baby faces. They're both from ROH. There's a lot of history between these guys, or at least there should be. So yeah, rather than just having them kind of beat them with their finish, we're gonna do a quick flash pinfall. We're gonna protect SCU. And this is the B block. I think this time we're going to do matches first. All right, so in the A block, we're going to have the debut of Jonathan and Joshua. You know them, of course, the Fatus. And you know, this could, because I've got Kenny Omega as El Phantasmo as the main event, but we're doing the Usos versus FTR, essentially. So this could also main event, really. Also, can I just say, I hate the way the Fatus looks. I'm kind of tempted to just change their name back to the Usos because it just looks nicer. But we're not going to do that right this second. All right, and I wouldn't even call this an upset. I would just say that the Usos are going to win. You know, these guys, they're very familiar with one another. They wrestled each other in WWE many times. So it really shouldn't even be considered an upset that they're just going to come in, make their debut, and beat them again straight up. So that's a big match, potentially the main event. We've also got Kenny Omega, who's going to take on El Phantasmo, who is going to be revealed to be Don Callis's, or at least one of his clients. You know, man, maybe this should main event. I don't think El Phantasmo. Yeah, he's not super over. Oh, we should check if he's even considered recognizable. You know, I thought he was a bit more over than that in the US. Oh, he's an Orient. Oh, fuck. All right, Briscoe's FTR main event. Or not Briscoe's, I mean, Uso's FTR. Right, of course, Kenny Omega is going to win. All right, so this is gonna main event. We're gonna give them like we're gonna give them 20 minutes, which feels insane. I hope this is the right move. Didn't we get a finish? Safe bet. All right, yeah, we definitely need this. Oh, and I want to go to El Phantasmo. Even though we're only borrowing him and we're probably going to have to do this every time, I'm going to make Don Callis his manager just to see if they have good chemistry. Is there a better picture we can use? We'll leave it alone. All right, so this match went from being the Collision main event to being on Dynamite to being a middle of the show match. All right, we're gonna do Adam Page versus Evil Uno, which I'm gonna book that match and then we're gonna explain why it's happening. Adam Page, of course, is going over, which maybe we're gonna make this a wild card. All right, basically, the story behind this match, we're gonna book a promo where Adam Page is talking. He's come out once again, just reiterating what he already said on Collision, that his sights are set on the World Championship, and that means that no matter who he has to go through, who has to beat in a match, whatever it takes, he's going for the title. All right, and then in a interesting turn of events, we're going to have Ultra Mantis Black show up. So Ultra Mantis Black's gonna come. It's been a while since I've booked Ultra Mantis Black to do anything. I'm probably gonna be bad at doing this voice, but he's gonna come out and say, "Hangman, Cowboy." that is not his voice. I'm not gonna do it. I don't think that's how his voice sounds. I've forgotten. But he's gonna come out and cut a promo on him, basically saying, like, the Dark Order. We've been lying in wait. We've been plotting. We've been waiting for the perfect time to reemerge and take over this company. And now is that time, Hangman. And Adam Page is basically going to be like, look, I just had to deal with Jimmy Jacobs. I'm tired of people trying to speak to me in riddles. If you've got a problem with me, if you want me to face one of the Dark Order guys, sure, let's do it tonight. Send one of them out here. Send one of them out here. He's at it. He's not feeling it. He just got done dealing with Jimmy Jacobs. He's like, Ultra Mantis Black, what is this bullshit? And Ultra Mantis Black is basically he's gonna ramble on for a bit more, and then he's gonna send out Evil Uno. And that's going to lead straight into that match, actually. So yeah, again, same story as with the Jimmy Jacobs things. I want Adam Page to wrestle Cody at the pay-per-view. We need him to, we need him to do stuff in the meantime. So we're gonna have him interacting with the Dark Order now. I know he just got done doing spooky shit with Jimmy Jacobs. But this is different. It's the Dark Order. It's not the same. All right, let's get some more promos going. Let's do just 3 minutes backstage promo. Don Callis just teasing that El Phantasmo is here. So Callis and Swerve backstage talking to Renee. Renee Paquette is like, you told Kenny Omega that you had a new client, that he'd be here tonight and to face him. Well, is he here? And Don Callis is gonna say, like, of course he's here. What, am I a liar, Renee? Like, do you think I would just say that for no reason? Of course he's here. But unfortunately, you're gonna have to find out when everybody else finds out. I'm not gonna give you the scoop. And he's like, just know, Kenny Omega, if you beat our guy, that doesn't mean you're out of the woods just yet. Swerve Strickland will be the next AEW Prime Champion, whether you like it or not. Okay. Hmm. We should probably have Cody cut a promo just because. Just because he's the world champion. Oh, we should definitely have AJ Mendez, or we should have one of the other teams cut a promo on Trinity and Mickey. Yeah, we'll do AJ Mendez and Nikki Storm. Alright, so AJ Mendez and Nikki Storm are gonna cut a promo basically saying, like, hey, you won our championships, but you didn't even actually beat us for the titles. So how can you run around here and call yourself champions when you stole the belts from us? Trinity, Mickey James, you two are frauds. All right, just a simple promo. We need a women's match. How about we have Bianca Belair beat somebody? Let's take a look at our women in dev. We're planning on turning her heel, but we're not there yet. So yeah, she'll probably take on a heel. Is Queen Aminata good? Not really. I mean, she got a 72 match here, but yeah, it was definitely carried by Davina and Mia Yim. Stephanie back hair any good? 42. Oh wait, you know what? How about this? Katarina Waters. Forgot she's still here. All right, Bianca Belair. Clean win. And we're going to do Trish Stratus at ringside. We're just going to have Trish, you know, she's going to be standing more on the stage, just kind of watching the match, observing. And here, let's just get this out of the way. Make it a storytelling. Also, we're gonna let we definitely need to have Stokely Hathaway talk, because since Awesome Kong has lost the championship, I don't believe we've had them cut a promo. So he's basically going to cut a promo saying, like, you know, it was a complete travesty, a sham, it was a miscarriage of justice. Hana Kimura does not deserve to be the champion right now. Awesome Kong should still have the belt. Even though Hana Kimura, we literally had her just beat her fair and square, straight up beat her clean. But yeah, Stokely Hathaway is still gonna complain. He's gonna say, like, you know, Awesome Kong, being that she held the championship for nearly a year, obviously deserves an immediate rematch, and we expect to get it soon. Yeah, she held the title for 310 days, nearly a year. We'll use the likely on this. I don't know. I wish Stokely was more consistent on his promos, man. I really do. I really like Stokely Hathaway in real life. And yeah, it's like 92 to 100, but then he kind of bombs half the time. It's just not fair. I wonder if he needs like a momentum. Like, should we try to give him these two character ideas and see what that does? We'd be taking a risk, for sure. Let's go for it. Why not? What do we have to lose? Failure. Okay. A success. Still cooled? Okay. All right. Well, that did not go well. I hope the promo doesn't suffer. It's definitely going to. All right. Did somebody say you want me to book a 6-minute Cody angle? You've got it. 6 minutes. Cody Rhodes. He's just gonna monologue. He's gonna have a serious 6-minute monologue. He's gonna talk about Adam Page. He's gonna talk about Kenny Omega, who he won the title from. Let's see, who else? Who has he defended against? He's defended against Sting. Okay. All right. We need 12 more minutes, so we're pretty close. Oh, you know what? We didn't do anything with Latin Mafia, so we're gonna have them. They're gonna have to cut a return promo on both Eddie Kingston and John Moxley.
This is a stupid dope mix.
Oh, hey, hey! I keep forgetting to do this, and now that we're here, I'm gonna do it. Please. All right, we can't do it. All right, we'll have to remember to do it later. Andrade is backstage with Selena, Ortiz, and Black Taurus. And he's gonna cut a promo. He's basically going to point out how John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Okay, you know, I'm a man of honor. I'm not going to stand here and lie to everyone. You beat us last time. Congratulations. But it's very clear to anyone who sees those two are not a unified front. And you mark my words, John Moxley, if you think that we're just going to walk away from this situation and that our affiliation is over, then you are sorely wrong or sorely mistaken. Yeah, we're really just continuing the story, and I don't even know what it's leading to. I'm thinking, you know, we already did a 5-on-5 Torneo Cibernetico, but I feel like because there's so many guys in Latin Mafia and Eddie Kingston and John Moxley are both involved, it probably has to go to another multi-man match. So maybe we can do like, maybe it can lead to like a War Games actually. Just some kind of big blow-off match to finally end the feud. And you know, we're probably not gonna have them like save Penta's soul. He's still gonna be a heel for now. But at the very least, we do have to have a blow-off eventually. But for now, we're just gonna keep stretching this out. And I mean, let me see. Let's look at the tournament. All right, so we did Mercy Machine Gun versus Beer Money. We're doing the Briscoes SCU on this show. Ooh, I definitely don't want Pac and Shingo to face Ortiz and Black Taurus as their first opponents. I should have thought about that. So we're gonna have to do some finagling here. I was gonna say we could have Pac and Shingo have their tournament match on this show, but maybe not. We could just switch it up and do like Pac and Shingo versus SCU and the Briscoes versus Ortiz and Black Taurus instead. I don't know. We're just gonna leave it with what we have. We're not gonna do either. Okay. Man, look at all these major stars. right, we brought Will Ospreay. Let's do a backstage angle. We're gonna have Will Ospreay backstage with Renee Paquette talking about recently competing in the AEW Prime Champion, or excuse me, the International Championship Tournament. And things didn't go this way, but he got to wrestle his idol AJ Styles, and he's more motivated than ever to prove himself. Yada yada yada. He's inspired. He wants to take on some more matches in AEW and show what he's got. All right, and then who is going to show up but none other than Mr. Interrupter promo himself. Walter. So basically Walter is going to show up and he's going to say to Will Ospreay, like, you're pathetic. You're here celebrating the fact that you lost a match and talking about how you want to go like prove yourself, although I feel like you already have. Kind of just saying he's a loser. And Will Ospreay is gonna get all in his face and be like, if there's beef, bro, we can settle it tonight in the ring. And Walter is gonna say, like, all in due time. So yeah, the heels never just straight up accept the challenge. They always fire up the baby faces and then go, not right now. Walter gets in his face, bruv. I could, if I really wanted to. We could book Will Ospreay in a match. Will Ospreay versus Hijo del Fantasma could be good. Will Ospreay versus Laredo Kid would probably be really good. Do we have a Steal the Show match ready? We do, damn. All right, you know what? Yeah, I like the sound of that. We're gonna do Will Ospreay versus Laredo Kid. He's here. Might as well make use of it. We're gonna put AJ Styles at ringside. And you know what? Actually, we're just gonna go ahead and straight up add AJ Styles' promo. So I'm not gonna add another part, but we're gonna say that after Walter walks up and gets in his face, AJ Styles shows up and kind of stands alongside Will Ospreay. Backs him up. How over is Will Ospreay also? He's recognizable. Okay. Oh, and he works heel. Hey, no you don't. You know, we only got a couple more minutes left, so we'll give it to this match. All right, and this is a lot more of a wrestling-centric show here. But yeah, here's our show. It's giving us a warning because Jay Briscoe has an injured tailbone, or a cracked tailbone, and El Phantasmo is being slightly overused. I mean, here, what if we just do this? Okay, that's good. Also, yeah, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, John Moxley, and Kento Miyahara are not on the show. There's just no time. There's no time. We've got such heavy hitters that there isn't always time to get every single person on the show. Although we could just add CM Punk to this promo. We're gonna do that actually. Easy way to get him on the show. Boom. All right, so this is our show. I'm gonna guess our last time I guessed like an 82 and we got an 86, so I undershot it. This show has more matches and not as many promos. I'm still gonna go under 85 and say an 84. I hope the main event delivers though. But we will see. I've got one more minute now. Let's add it to. Yeah, we'll add it to the women's match. Why not? All right, let's run it. All right, we open up the show once again with Adam Page coming out. His eyes are set on Cody Rhodes. Ultramantis Black is here to the confusion of the audience watching at home. And Adam Page, you know, he's like, look, man, I don't got time to deal with this shit. If you guys want to beat me up, then send them out here. And Ultramantis Black, you know, he's going to do his evil laugh. And then out comes Evil Uno. All right, an 80, not a terrible match. Adam Page and Evil Uno have a wild brawl. It's pretty solid. All right, and then after that, we get straight in to All Elite Tag League action. This is a B block match. Got the Briscoe brothers taking on SCU. And of course, the Briscoe brothers, I believe. Yeah, all right, I had to check. The Briscoe brothers come out on top with a quick roll up in a match between two teams that should know each other pretty well. And yeah, despite the injury, still a great match. Got 76. Oh, I didn't even put anybody like off screen that they were talking about. Wow. I just completely sandbagged this promo. What is wrong with me? And it got a 75. All right, man. I don't even think it affected the storyline that we were meant to target. But whatever, man. All right, we get a promo from the former women's tag team champions, AJ Mendez and Nikki Storm. They're upset. They're like, we didn't get pinned. We deserve a rematch. Those titles are ours. All right, now here comes Bianca Belair, who had her interaction with Trish Stratus last week. Going one-on-one with Katarina Walters. It gets to 64. Not the greatest match we've ever booked. Also, it doesn't say anything about this, but we had Trish Stratus at ringside. Jesus Christ. All right, Stokely Hathaway. We fucked up his momentum. He was poor trying to improvise dialogue. The angle idea didn't work. Just things not going the way of stuff. Oh, we forgot to put Hannah Kimura in the promo too. Oh my god. Dude, what am I doing on this episode? I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it. All right, let's just move on. Let's just get out of here. I'm ashamed. All right. Wasn't the Will Ospreay promo before this? All right, man. The match got a 68. I don't know what's wrong with me. I could have swore I booked this before this match, or I at least intended to. But whatever, man. We'll just say it happened that his interview was after his match, which got a 68. I didn't get to see what their individual scores were. All right, the promo with Bruv and Walter gets a 62. This show not doing as well as the last one. All right, we got a Don Callis segment. He's backstage with Swerve and CM Punk, and once again, they're talking about their enemies, Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega now. Renee Paquette tries to get Don Callis to spill the beans on his secret client, and he says, you're gonna have to wait and see like everybody else. At least it's got a 70. All right, Kenny Omega and El Phantasmo get an 80. Oh, was El Phantasmo a baby face? I should have checked that. That's my fault. But yeah, kind of similar to the Adam Page match from earlier. The major star kind of carrying the match. Although El Phantasmo, I'm sure if he gets more over, he'll be doing better than this. So yeah, solid match, all things considered. And Kenny Omega picks up the win. Wow. Wow, and 100 promo from Cody. We said, look, man, you've got 6 minutes. Say whatever the hell you want to say. And he did. All right. Thank you, our champion. Oh my God. And then we follow it up with a 91 main event. The Usos making their surprise debuts and taking on their old rivals, FTR, and going nearly 20 minutes before defeating them to pick up their first 2 points in the All Elite Tag League. The creative finish here was a success. Thank God. Thank you. We sacrificed Stokely Hathaway and all those other promos for this match to do good. So yeah, it worked out in the end. His gimmick is awful. Great. Okay, both their gimmicks receiving awful ratings. Yeah, unfortunate. Sheesh, a 91 episode of Dynamite, man. Those last 2 segments really saved our asses here. We had some solid matches, things considered, but yeah, this middle portion of the show was just bad. It was just bad. All right, but we made nearly $2 million, so I guess it wasn't that bad. In popularity, basically everywhere. Us not going up in a few places in the US is insane, because that means that for us to gain more popularity, we need to be doing better than a 91. Jesus. That's intense, man. Let's see how well NXT did. A 72, get out of here. Donovan Dijak is still the champion. How many defenses has Donovan Dijak had? I feel like he's been their champion forever. Or well, no, actually, I think at one point it was they had it on Aleister Black, maybe. Okay, yeah, Aleister Black had 16 defenses. Holy shit! And Donovan Dijak has been the champion since June. He's defended it 9 times. All right, not as long as I actually thought he was. It feels like longer. But yeah, still 225 days of Dijak as the champion. Okay. Oh, Isaiah Cassidy's contract coming up. We're not gonna mess around. We're just gonna keep him for 2 more years. Timothy Thatcher was injured. I didn't even know. Oh, and we got some dev people asking for a little bit more money. Sure, $60. He's like, look, man, I'm trying to get this new UFC game, but games are expensive nowadays. Can you spot me a couple bucks? And I'm like, sure, man. Speaking of the new UFC game, man, that game looks trash. Like, I think the last UFC game I played was EA UFC 3, I want to say. And I remember when 4 came out, I was not a fan of the way the ground and pound and like the grappling looked in that game. So I just ended up not buying it. And then 5 came out, and I was kind of not crazy about that either. I don't even have a console to play it on actually right now. Oh yeah, I was just checking if there's a dark coming up. There is not. Okay. But yeah, just UFC 6. The in general, the striking animations are so ugly. I don't understand why it seems like they're just moving backwards from game to game. The animations just seem to get worse. The graphics in general, there's this weird blue tint over it, and it just kind of I just think it looks ugly. Will Ospreay, Will Hobbs has left AEW. Yeah, he was here for a while. I believe he was here from like day one. I hope he does well in other places. We gave him a shot. It didn't fully work out, but he's only 29 years old. He's got time. Maybe he can make it in WWE or something. We wish him the best on his future endeavors. I believe we're letting this run out. I believe we already got a Japan deal. Jay Briscoe's tailbone feeling better. Funaki went to WWE. Oh no. All right, that's fine. We didn't really need him. I was just kind of messing around. Right, and Helico is staying. Great. Man, Will Hobbs must have heard that we were keeping Angelico Jack Evans in Private Party and been like, what the fuck did I do? Why am I the one getting let go? I don't know. He should have had some better matches. I don't know what to say. I feel like we gave him a lot of chances. Like, we had him wrestle Bryan Danielson. I believe he wrestled Bryan Danielson in Bryan Danielson's debut, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he just never really seemed to deliver, which is unfortunate. Ricky Starks is also not really over, but he was noticeably better. Who's leaving Noah? Nobody important. We're just gonna get up to Monday, and then I'm probably gonna take a quick break, and then we'll book another collision. So of course we know we have some tournament matches to book. Aside from that, who knows? It's gonna be fun. Maybe see if we can get a better match out of Bianca Belair. Booker against not Katarina Waters. Farewell from Rebel. Rebel leaving the wrestling industry. I mean, yeah, we of course wishing her the best in real life. All right. Oh, actually, let me not jump the gun. All right, nobody super important. You know, when we do book the next collision, we need to remember to when Rain's available in new areas. Where you gonna work? Are you still toxic? Yes. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. All right. Yeah. When we do book collision, we need to fix the mess we've already made with the B block of the tag league. I definitely don't want Pac and Shingo facing Ortiz and Black Taurus as their first opponents in the tournament. So yeah, we're gonna have to sort that out. But that we're gonna do after I take this quick break. I will be right back. Please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. All right, we're back. It's time to book collision. Do I need Will Ospreay for this? Maybe we could book Walter in a match actually instead. I don't want to just have Will like have to borrow him for every single show we book. So yeah, maybe we'll let him have the night off. However, I will bring in El Phantasmo again. We're probably gonna have to set up Don Callis as his manager again. Okay, yeah, he's a face. Please be a heel. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this every time we bring him in. All right, here we go. Let's see, where are we going? It's January 18th. We were in the Northwest last week. How about we go to the Midwest, maybe? Yeah, we haven't been here since early December, so maybe about a month. It's fine. We're gonna head to South Dakota. Actually, hold on. We're actually drawing a bit closer to 12,000. All right, we're going to South Dakota. All right, can we get some good character ideas so we can fix Stokely's momentum? Hey, near certainty. All right, show me another one, just in case. Big gamble. I would love to use that for Matt Jackson, but get serious, guys. Likely. All right. training, training. Oh, CM Punk and Jay Briscoe getting into a blazing argument, man. So yeah, these guys not liking each other. It's a shoot. It's a shoot, brother. I'm doing the gun motion with my hand. It's a shoot. They really don't like each other. Kenta and Jimmy Jacobs hanging out. That is a interesting pairing. All right, Rick Knox being bright and cheerful backstage. Who would, you look at this face and bright and cheerful, not the first things I would expect. All right, here we go. All right, so I've got a couple of ideas for this show. We might just be throwing some stuff out there. But let's get Penta in a match. We had him show up and beat Ray Phoenix, and then he was in a trios match. Let's continue doing things with him. So who is someone he can beat? I mean, him versus Leo Rush sounds pretty rad. And we can't book Leo Rush on Dark. We need to remember that. So this is a chance for us to book him. So we're taking it. This probably is maybe like 13. We'll call this Steal the Show for now. And of course, Penta is going over. All right, then we're going to follow this up. We're going to go straight into tournament action. I want Ortiz and Black Taurus to have their first match. I don't want it to be against Pac and Shingo. They're going to have to face somebody who have already wrestled. Who can Ortiz and Black Taurus beat? Looking at this bracket, a lot of heels. You got Beer Money, you got Ortiz and Black Taurus, you got Pac and Shingo. Oh wait, no. I guess when you put it that way, it's pretty balanced. All right, how about when did SCU wrestle? Oh, SCU just wrestled on Dynamite. All right, well, we're gonna do Ortiz and Black Taurus versus SCU. I think this is going to be our storytelling match. And we are going to have Ortiz. He is going to steal the win after a little bit of outside interference. So we're going to do managerial. I believe he's being managed by Selena De La Renta. I should check that. But yeah, we're gonna say that Selena De La Renta gets involved and maybe provides a bit of distraction. Yeah, Latin Mafia gets the win as SCU drops to 0-2 in their side of the league. And, so far we've been doing like a 1A block match and 1B block match per show, but I kind of want to switch things up here and do 2 B block matches just so we can get Pac and Shingo also on the board. Pac and Shingo, let's see. Right, they can't wrestle SCU, Ortiz, and Black Taurus. They can wrestle Beer Money or the Briscoes or the Machine Guns. Well, I definitely want them to win their match. They're gonna wrestle beer money, I guess. Right, this actually kind of works out because they're wrestling heels, so they can kind of play that tweener role that they've been playing. The Death Rider is kind of in between being heels and faces so far because they've been kind of having issues with Latin Mafia. We're gonna have our boy Shingo get the win here. We're just gonna have him straight up win, just clean win. John Moxley at ringside. And Fergal. So maybe John Moxley and Fergal come out with these guys and the Latin Mafia, Andrade kind of gives them a look and they kind of they back off, They leave Ortiz and Black Taurus and Salim De La Renta to kind of fend for themselves. They're like, we're not gonna get into this right now. Oh wait, no, they're not wrestling Ortiz and Black Taurus. What the hell am I saying? Whatever. John Moxley and Fergal are at ringside. I'm just talking out my ass. All right, so double B block action. B block. All right, so tough outings for SCU and Beer Money. Both of them dropping 2 matches immediately to start the league. All right, this is a lot of focus on Latin Mafia and Death Riders, so we're definitely gonna have both of them cut promos. So let's do a quick 4-minute backstage with Mox and the Death Riders. Maybe Mox in this promo can just kind of point out to Andrade that he's like, my guys, Pac and Shingo, as it turns out, they're in the same league lock as your guys, or our old friend Ortiz and his new buddy Black Taurus. It's gonna be real interesting to see what happens when they face off, because let me tell you now, we don't plan on holding back and we don't plan on taking a loss. Yeah, just basically talking down to Latin Mafia. Very bold of John Moxley. This promo come after their match. We'll do a promo later in the night with Drop. Actually, you know what? Ortiz is good for promos. Let's let him talk. We'll just do Andrade off screen. You know what? Is having Ortiz only talk a mistake? We're you know what? We'll have Andrade here too. Never mind. I changed my mind. Just I thought about it. I'm like, Andrade is more. He's more popular than him. All right, so Andrade is like, we're like I've been saying this whole time. We're gentlemen, you know. So when the time comes that we must face off with one another, may the best team win. Of course, they're definitely gonna try to cheat. All right, so that's like almost half the show. All right, yeah, we should do a Walter match. We've done Walter versus Wheeler Yuta before, but that could be good. We could do it again. Or and we need to refresh our like developmental roster. There's some guys in here that are pretty good, but then there's a lot of people where it's kind of like, like I'm not gonna name names right now, but there's a lot of people in here that I'm kind of like, I could probably let them go. Let's see. Is there anybody just on our roster he could wrestle? Any good baby face? Nobody I really want him to face. It might be Wheeler Yuta again. All right, sorry Wheeler. Oh, and it was for the championship. Wow. And they got an 80. All right. Give him 10 minutes. Walter to be the victor. Clean win. And we'll give him a 3-minute in-ring promo. Where we want him to say here that that even though he doesn't have a belt around his waist right now, it is clear to anyone with any sense or any sort of vision that he stands above the rest of the roster. He stands on a class of his own. And that, he's heard a few people, like namely AJ Styles and Will Ospreay, running their mouth. And, if they want to come try him again, well, then, he will be happy to oblige. So, yeah, he's basically putting it out there that he's like, I've beaten AJ Styles. I can definitely kick the shit out of Will Ospreay. So, if they want to come challenge me, if they think they're tough guys, I'm not hard to find. And we have AJ Styles off screen. That's good. We're not gonna have AJ Styles come out and respond. We're just gonna leave it as just a Walter promo. Also, I kind of want this match to advance that feud. Okay. So what else do we want to book? We brought in El Phantasmo, right? I think we should do some kind of match with like El Phantasmo teaming with maybe just have them like have El Phantasmo and Swerve and maybe Ricky Marvin or Ricky Marvin, Ricky Starks to team up and just squash some guys. Actually, you know what? We just re-signed. Dante Martin's gonna be pissed. We called him up for no reason. We just re-signed Private Party. Let's use them actually. All right, but we'll do Private Party and someone else. All right, so they'll take on. Here, we'll have them take on Mike Bailey and Private Party. All right, we won't have it be a total squash. We'll give them 11 minutes. But of course, we're gonna put over the Don Callis guys. Swerve pick up the win. Oh, and you know, I wasn't even thinking about this, but this works out perfectly because in the last promo we did, we had Don Callis arguing that Kenny Omega winning a trios match shouldn't make him a contender for a singles title. So we can have Bryan Danielson come out and do the same thing where he's like, you know, Swerve Strickland, it was you that said a trios win shouldn't count towards a singles title. So by your own logic, Swerve Strickland isn't any closer to facing me again. All right, I'm tired of booking all these in parts, so we're just gonna have this be storyline development 6 minutes. Send Bryan out there. Send Kenny Omega out there. I think we'll do Kenny off screen and we'll give him his own promo. On Swerve. Swerve. Also, I like how we replaced Will Hobbs with El Phantasmo. What a weird switch up. We were like, all right, it didn't work out with a big, strong black guy. Let's get a smaller white guy. I'm sorry. I'm just joking around. All right. Oh yeah, so Bryan Danielson gonna throw it back in Don Callis' face and say, you know, oh, you want a trios match? That doesn't mean anything. This is a singles championship. What are you, stupid? Still need 31 more minutes. We're gonna give Kenny Omega a 3-minute promo where I want him to basically challenge or call out Swerve Strickland again. You know, he's gonna say, look, if Swerve Strickland really thinks that he's the #1 contender for that title, why doesn't he just face me and we can decide who deserves the shot? So they're really teasing this matchup. All right. Can't forget to include CM Punk. Yeah, so the point of the promo is that he's like, us having a #1 contenders match, it just makes sense. Come on, Don. Let's do it. We definitely we still need a main event. Man, it's too bad we can't borrow people from alliances on this screen, because I would definitely just do Kento Miyahara versus a random New Japan person and just be like, oh, the international championship is part of the alliance. Yeah, Alright, there's got to be someone Kento Miyahara can wrestle. Have we done Kento versus Zack Sabre Jr.? I don't think we have. Or only in this 5-on-5. Oh, well, he did wrestle Minoru Suzuki before. We can just sell the match by saying, you know, Zack Sabre Jr., he wants to get a bit of revenge for his leader, Minoru Suzuki. All right, and this could be the main event. Sick. All right, this is definitely not a wild brawl, though. So we'll need to figure that out. Why don't we do botched interference by Minoru Suzuki? Or actually, no, not Minoru Suzuki. Let's do Lance Archer. And we'll do Suzuki and Archer at ringside. And we'll do Eddie Kingston and Wagner at ringside. There you go. Everybody gets to do something. And of course, we need to borrow the belt. All right, just kind of a out of the blue title match in the Collision main event. Yeah, we'll give this a full 20. Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, he's got a red hot momentum. All right, hell yeah. And in that case, since he's now suddenly in the main event, we're gonna give him a 3-minute backstage promo. Or, ooh, I know what we'll do. We'll have it start off as an Eddie Kingston promo and with Kento and Wagner in the background. And then we'll have Suzuki-gun show up. And there you go. Boom. Main event set up. All right, who did these? Oh, these guys wrestled the Jim Ross Corp last week. All right, you know what? We're just gonna do it all as one part. Whatever. All right, so Lance Archer is like, "Oh, hey, I want to get revenge for me mate." Yeah. The Zack Sabre Jr. weirdly, no bruv, no bruvs from Zack Sabre Jr. Will Ospreay, bruv all day. Who's lying? Which one of them is not British? All right, we'll put this somewhere in the middle of the show. All right, only 2 more minutes are needed. We didn't book any women on the show. That's insane. All right, I know I said we were gonna do a Bianca Belair squash, but how about we do an Awesome Kong match instead? So Awesome Kong, we're gonna have her rematch for the championship before we give Bianca Belair a title shot. So let's see, is there anyone ever done Mika Wada versus Awesome Kong? Not in a one-on-one match. All right, good match. Give him 10 minutes. Can this be a wild brawl? No. And it's see, and the thing is, I know Hikaru Shida has brawling, but I feel like I've done a trilogy between Kong and Hikaru Shida. And it's like, I feel like this match is a match I would want to build up more. She's got brawling. Whatever. We're going to do it. Oh, no. They've only faced off 1 time. Is that true? Huh. All right, 13. All right, so Awesome Kong, first match after losing the Women's Championship, going after Hikaru Shida, who just teamed with Hana Kimura recently, and is going to get a tainted win. Do manager interference. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and put Hana Kimura. Like in actuality, we probably wouldn't have her there, but just for it to advance the storyline. Oh, now I've gone over. Okay. All right, never mind. This is a 10-minute wild brawl. Hey, is there just no Cody or Adam Page on the show at all? Shoot. I just can never get them all in. All right, we're gonna have to shorten some stuff maybe. All right, look, this can just be a squash. This can be 8 minutes. All right, got 3 minutes to work with. Let's see. Let me make this a 4 minutes. That's really only enough time for one promo. This is already 10 minutes. So now we've got what? I don't even know. All right, we're just gonna do a 3-minute Adam Page promo, and then if we can, a 3-minute Cody promo. Adam Page is backstage talking to RJ City, and before they can even really get going, Ultramantis Black shows up. And Adam Page is once again very annoyed. And he's just like, look, I like I said last week, I just had to deal with a bunch of spooky shit from Jimmy Jacobs, and I don't like that kind of stuff, right? Just leave me the hell alone. If Brody Lee wants to come face me, he can do it. He can do it himself. He can be a man, all right? Get the hell out of here, Ultramantis Black. And Ultramantis Black's just gonna be all spooky and weird and just annoying. I don't know how Ultramantis Black got tied up in the world title storyline, but that's what we're doing. I don't know. That's just the way things go sometimes. Sometimes Ultramantis Black's just not even on the card. Sometimes he's talking to Hangman Page. I kind of wanted these to be back to back because it's 2 Latin Mafia matches, and then I wanted these matches to be back to back because you could have the Death Riders come out as Latin Mafia are leaving just for a little tension. But we're just gonna throw this promo in between these 2 matches, whatever. Four minutes left. What did Cody do on the last show? Oh, we gave him a 6-minute monologue and I got 100. Okay. You know what? If Ultramantis Black is good enough to interact with Hangman Page, why not do it again? You know, once is enough, twice is nice. We're making up sayings. This stream has gone on for too long. All right, there we go. We made the adjustments. We fixed the show. Um, we've been doing really well lately. I keep under guessing. I mean, it's fucking Kento. It's we booked Kento and Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event. All right, I'm gonna guess a 95. A 95. Fuck it. I'm gonna believe for once. I'm actually gonna believe in our show and the strength of our roster. Quick hot 95. Let's do it. All right, we open up with a 79 match. The Don Callis associates or affiliates or whatever we decide to call them. Swerve Strickland, El Phantasmo, and Ricky Starks pick up a win over a very game Mike Bailey and Private Party, who just, they were game, they were up for it, but they just weren't quite good enough to handle Don Callis' guy. All right. Brian Danielson comes out and he does a little verbal sparring with Don Callis and Swerve Strickland. Gets a 71. Kind of a twist Don Callis' own logic and uses it against him, which of course Don Callis is very upset with this. He's very displeased. Look at this face. All right, and then we get a backstage promo. Eddie Kingston is with Kento Miyahara and Wagner Dracero, and enter Suzuki-gun. Zack Sabre Jr. says, Kento Miyahara, you think you're so hot? Well, guess what? You're the international champion. Why don't you put that on the line tonight in the main event against me, Zack Sabre Jr.? And Eddie Kingston's like, yeah, you know what? You want a title shot? Kento Miyahara, he don't even got to say a word. He accepts. He'll be there. Even though Kento Miyahara supposedly speaks fluent English, according to the mod. All right, enter Spooky Penta. He's evil. He comes out and he does the Penta walk, but the lights are like red, so it's spooky. And here's a very non-spooky at all Leo Rush. He's normal. There's nothing weird about him. All right, and together they got an 80. All right, we get a weird scene going on backstage. Adam Page being annoyed by Ultramantis Black, and he really would like it if you just left him alone. 69. All right, maybe not the best idea to throw Ultramantis Black into these segments, but what's done is done and cannot be changed. All right, on to All Elite Tag League action. In the B block, we've got Latin Mafia squaring off with Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, SCU. And the match was designed to tell a specific story, and it got an 80. A quality storytelling match here. Thank you to everybody involved. I shouldn't be surprised. All right, and then immediately after that match ends, Pac and Shingo of the Death Riders come out for their match with Beer Money, and it gets an 80. All right, yeah, Pac got a 94. Holy shit, man! That their match with Ortiz and Black Taurus is gonna go crazy. All right, we come back from commercial break, and we've got John Moxley backstage with his boys, the Death Riders, basically pointing out that yeah, Death Riders and Latin Mafia, what a coincidence. They're in the same block. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. A solid promo from Kenny Omega. All right. Kenny Omega throwing down the gauntlet, saying that he's open to facing Swerve Strickland for the #1 contendership, even though Don Callis doesn't seem to want that to happen. 75. All right, a great match here. Awesome Kong going one-on-one with Hikaru Shida. This is a match that has happened in the past for the Women's Championship. And it gets a 77. Awesome Kong, still too much for Hikaru Shida to handle. Although Hikaru Shida got a 72. Wow. All right, we get a promo from the Latin Mafia. Gets a 79. I actually remembered to put the people they were talking about into the promo this time. All right, and a basically a squash match here. Walter coming out. You know, he likes to stay fresh. He likes to stay active. So he's taking this match against Wheeler Yuta, and he dominates him. Gets a 7. All right, and then we get a promo from Walter, basically saying like, you know, if AJ Styles is so tough and he wants to challenge me again, you know, the result will be no different than last time we faced off. I will be victorious, and AJ Styles will be that much closer to retirement. And Will Ospreay, if he has anything to say about that, well, maybe we can retire him too. All right, now we've got Cody backstage being approached by Ultramantis Black. All right, very interesting situation that is unfolding. Even I would say that I don't know where this is going, but we will see. The intrigue is intriguing. All right, I believe the next up is the main event. Oh my goodness. Kento Miyahara, the international champion, defends his championship against Zack Sabre Jr. and gets a 96. Jesus. There wasn't even a storyline attached to this. Just a straight up very good match. Only a 64 crowd rating. A bit weird there. But yeah, incredible match. I feel like this championship, for as long as Kento Miyahara holds it, we're just gonna match him up against all the best dudes that we can. Like it's a shame that Pac is in the tag league, because oh my god, Pac versus Kento. Whew. All right, we got a 91. All right, so I finally overshot it. But yeah, 91, very good score for this episode of Dynamo or Collision. Yeah, incredible main event. Gained popularity in a few places. All right, so yeah, that was a really good episode, and we kind of, you know, that was one of those flying by the seat of our pants episodes where we basically came in with nothing, and we made it work. So yeah, this was a good episode, all things considered. The tag league is well underway. We've got some new matches we're trying to build up to. Everything's advancing nicely. Oh, Phantasmo is suddenly in the mix. Hannah Kimura doesn't connect with you. Shut the hell up, Andrade. You shut the fuck up before I take your. You know what? You want to talk shit, Andrade? You want to talk shit, Andrade? No last name for you. No last name for you. Now I'm remembering to do this. Here, we'll make him Andrade. Let that be a lesson. The next time you speak, you might lose your first name. How dare you? How dare you talk down? Which, speaking of, oh, she's made it to well known. All right. All right, I can sit here and check a bunch of people's popularity, which I love to do. But we're going to call it. This is a long episode. It's been 3 hours. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you guys next time. So if you enjoyed this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can catch me on Twitch at Hijo del Amigo. This is the end of the video. All right, take it easy, everybody.